that belief of not being able to do it yourself and being kind of a pawn or a puppet or a cog, like a kind of
like a victim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like an effect.
So
like
you're in the habit of being a victim. How long have you been a victim? I bet you were born a victim.
Okay. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, all babies are victims. All babies are incapable of managing their own lives. So you got in the habit of being a victim when you were a baby, and maybe now is the time to put away those childish things and start becoming the winner that you could be if you'd let yourself do that.
Yeah. It's so annoying how it's so simple and it's just like.
Well, you annoy yourself. You say that it's annoying instead of saying, hey, I can't do that.
Yeah. And it's
I
annoying.
can't stop annoying myself.
Yeah. Part of me is annoyed because I know it's so simple, but I like tried to make myself believe that it wasn't possible, you know?
Well, it's
So,
not so long as you keep annoying yourself. You're going to have to make a change. And you know that you can change. You've changed before. You changed out of diapers into knee pants. You changed out of baby clothes. You have changed uniforms. You change clothes every day. You can change. Now it's time to change your mind.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you can change your mind if you remember to change your mind. Very interesting. You say that you have a dozen thoughts, only one of them is wholesome. That sounds almost random. I would say that that's the general population, maybe closer to 10%. Then, in fact, you've heard the old analogy that people only use 10% of their brain. That's not true. You
Yeah.
use all of your brain, but only about 10% of the time.
Mm.
So if you
Yeah.
remember that you can, in fact, use your brain more often to the benefit rather than letting it be in unwholesome, because you've gotten yourself into really bad habits, and people that have those bad habits wind up committing suicide if they don't change those habits.
Yeah.
But can you change? And I'm asking this literal question: can you change?
Yes.
Yes. All right. That's what we're looking for. Yes, you can change. Don't hide from me. Stay with me. You can change. Is that right? You
Yeah.
can change. You can
Yeah.
change when you remember to change. Is that right?
Yeah, for better or for worse.
No, for better. The not changing is for the worst.
Yeah, exactly. Um, yeah.
So, can you commit that you're going to start practicing to remember that you've got a choice? That's what the practice is really all about. This is, by the way, the key ingredient of why psychotherapy does not work.
Mm.
The reason that it doesn't work is because the therapist doesn't give the client any job to do. And so
Yeah.
they go and they get all pumped up with the psychologist, and then they go and they don't do anything and fall back into the old habits.
Mm.
That's why I'm confronting you. Can you change? Can you make a commitment to start changing? Or you want to stay miserable?
Yeah. I don't want to stay miserable.
All right. Well, a smile already.
Yeah.
And you know you can do it because you have. You've been practicing. You have been able to do it. So the confidence is there, but it needs more confidence with more skills. And the more skills are going to happen by practice. You have to keep remembering to come back and make a change.
Yeah. I think, and it's just, I wish I could just snap it and make it quicker.
You can't. That's the whole point, is wishful thinking is not going to get you out of it.
Yeah. It
It's
takes a while.
practice. It takes practice. People can't snap their fingers at the piano and play Chopin. You can't snap
Yeah.
your fingers at a big motorcycle and be able to ride it. It takes practice.
My wishful thinking is more than the average person. It has been throughout my whole life.
Don't compare yourself to others. Stop comparing at all and start enjoying your life. Comparing is, in fact, what part of the reason why you get yourself into such a mess. Oh, well, I'm not as good as other people. Oh, poor me. They do better than I do.
Fuck. Yeah, so it's,
That's more wishful thinking, by the way.
is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Comparing yourself.
Magical thinking, not wishful thinking, but magical thinking. Because you don't know what other people do. I would say offhand that if you took a really strong survey, you'd find out that most people are in this position that you're in. You're just like everybody else, miserable, because they talk themselves into it and you talk yourself into it. But you've got a choice now. Now that you know that you've got a choice, you can start practicing that choice. You can do something about it.
Yeah, it's like the what is it, the horse or the cow that, or no, it's the elephant that is brought up with a chain around its neck and then they take it off and it still doesn't move because it thinks the chain is still around its neck. You know that?
I
Yeah.
I actually saw that demonstrated on YouTube not long ago with a
Yeah.
horse.
Yeah.
That the trainer walks up to this horse in training and pretends to put a bridle on and pretends to hook it up and then takes the pretend lead and walks away holding that bridle out, and the horse follows her.
Hmm.
Horse is in magical thinking. He thinks that he's got that bridle because he's been gotten used to it. And then about 30 steps later, as the video showed, the horse started to look around and then he says, wait a minute. And then he stops. And the trainer stops too. And then she starts to walk forward holding the imaginary lead. And the horse moves his head around and turns around and walks off. The
Oh.
horse can figure out that there was no lead, there was no harness,
Hmm.
and he does not have to follow.
He's
That's
escaped
right.
his illusion.
Now, there's another one which is much more common, and that is that in the old days, in the cowboy movies and whatnot, they have a hitching post, and that the what they call a well-trained horse is that the rider rides up to the hitching post, gets off, takes the reins, and just wraps it around the hitching post. Sometimes they don't even wrap it in a circle; they just lay it over the hitching post, and the horse will stay there
Hmm.
until gunfire, and then the horse is spooked, and then he'll pull that rein and he'll run away, right?
Hmm.
But the training is that he stays at the hitching post because he thinks that he's tied up to the hitching post. And
Yeah.
that's where you are. You think that you're tied up to that hitching post, and you
Yeah.
can actually, and you have the freedom when you remember that you're not really tied up to that hitching post. You can walk
Hmm.
away from it.
So why does it feel more comfortable to stay in this state?
To stay at the hitching post, right? To stay uh,
Yeah.
tied up
Why does it
because
feel,
you're used to it.
I'm used to it?
It's familiar.
Yeah, it makes sense almost. It's like routine
But you
or
can do something new.
mm, Yeah. I mean, how much can I do it at a time, though? Do I go slow? Do I try go cold
At a
turkey?
time is right now. There's no such thing as cold turkey. There's always just right now. Can you remember right
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
That you're trying to put a time limit on it. You're trying to project out into the future. And the question is, can you stop that right now? And
What does
that's
that
what I'm
do?
inviting you to do, is to stop all
Mm,
of that projecting into the future and recognize right here and right now that, like that horse, that bridle and that rein is imaginary.
yeah, like, and the future as well. I'm imagining a thing called the future, and I'm imagining like cold turkey as a concept that is beyond me in a
Mm-hmm.
fake kind of timeline, or, you know.
And the right way to think about it is, hot dog, I see that. Uh-huh, I see you, Mara. And let's do something about it right now. Never mind the future. That in fact, what will happen if you keep doing that, keep practicing correctly, what will happen is you begin to develop a skill. You begin to remember more often.
Mm,
Just like a piano player continues to practice the piano, they'll get a little bit better at it. Don't walk away from your nose. Don't walk away
yeah.
from your piano.
And
Remember,
there's an aspect of like being ashamed or something about going back into the practice and being like, and I'm aware that this is another delusion totally, like,
I
but
know, but you see, you're still dwelling on the negative rather
mm,
than having the positive to make the change. Right here, you can make the change. Hey, I can feel better. I can feel better right now. Tell yourself right now, you can feel better right now. Come on, let's see it. Yeah, I can feel better. I can take a deep breath and just relax right now. I can come out of the fear, out of the anxiety, just walk
mm,
away from it. Give yourself wholesome thoughts, like I can do this. Wholesome thoughts, like, wow, I don't really have any problem at all. I could just sit here and be happy.
so I don't really even have to understand what's wrong with me or why I do things.
No, in fact, that is a big, big problem with psychotherapy. That's most of the reason why it fails. Is they try to do psychological archaeology. They try to get to the bottom of it instead of fixing it. So, if you've got a dilapidated house that's about to fall down, do you need to have it inspected to find every problem with it? Why don't we just bulldoze the darn thing and start again?
Yeah, fuck, that is so true. I can't believe that. Oh man, it's insane. But
No,
so,
it's not insane. It's real. The insanity is keeping yourself depressed. The habit that you have, that's crazy.
mm,
Changing it into something healthy and happy, that's reality. That's sanity. It's not crazy. You can do
no,
this.
no, I'm saying what's insane is like that we do that though with inspecting the house. That's what I mean.
Well,
Yeah,
you were trained to do that. That was the
yeah,
training.
it was.
So change what you train yourself to do.
Mm. So I don't need to kind of philosophize really.
Right. Philosophizing doesn't help. Psychoanalyzing doesn't help. Making a change for the better, that will do it.
Mm. You
So
just
when
give
you
it up.
start, yeah, just stop. Just stop and say, hey, I don't have to do that. I can be happy.
Stop
I,
hitting yourself.
mm-hmm. Or like that horse that I was talking about. The horse, once she figured out that she was not being pulled by the rein, that she was, in fact, free all along. If a horse can figure that out, why can't you?
It feels like this, what you're talking about, is one of the most important things I could perceive, you know.
Precisely. That's the practice over and over and over again, is to wake up and see what you're doing so you can make a choice.
And all the other stuff that I hear or read in Buddhism world, like I don't even know if that would be necessary for me, you know, because I was reading about, you know, not self and stuff
All
like that.
right. But here's the point, that when you're saying, oh, poor me, that's the self.
So
When you say, never mind, I can be happy, that's no self. What is the self? The self is the part that you were trained into being. The who you are, the me, is the sum total of all the garbage that you've collected.
yeah, because there's another. I think there's another concept of not self as like there is not a perceiver or something like that.
Fixed self. You're not fixed.
Yeah,
You're a moving target. You are not fixed,
yeah.
except that you
I
get
agree
the
with that.
idea that you're fixed, that I
Mm.
can't fix it, that I can't change. That's coming out of that self of habit, the old habits. And you can come out of those habits,
Wow.
that you're not fixed. You can change. Can you get that? That you're not,
Yeah,
you're a
yeah.
moving target. That's where the problem lies. People actually get into arguments about, is there a self or is there no self? Or is there not self? And that we can clear that up really quickly by understanding that it's a bad translation.
Mm.
That really what they're talking about in the Pali, anatta,
Yeah,
atta. Have you ever heard the name Mahatma, like Mahatma Gandhi?
yeah.
Do you know what Mahatma means?
No.
It means great soul, atta. And the Buddha is saying there
Yeah,
is no soul,
yeah,
not about a self, but there is no soul. And the whole quality of a soul is that it is so strong that is immutable. It's so strong that it will survive even death.
yeah.
All right. And guess what? That soul is more like a football in the sense that once you die and the soul is exposed, God will either kick you this way or kick you that way. You become a football, you become a plaything for the gods, because you can't be, let us say, destroyed, but you can be put in bad situations. All
Yeah,
right.
and that's the kind of traditional concept
And
of
that's
a
the
soul.
traditional concept. And the Buddha says that that doesn't really exist. And
No.
where it interferes with our practice is when we get that idea of, I can't change, I'm already fixed. I have an original sin
Mm.
and I'm broken from the start. And all I can do is hope to get forgiveness. And the teaching of the Buddha is, in fact, just the opposite of that. You're not broken. That was a lie that you were told, and you believed it,
Mm.
that you're already okay. And all you need to do is to figure that out and keep telling yourself that you're okay. You're already all right. You're already free. You don't have to do anything to remove that invisible harness. Just recognize that it's not there every time, because that invisible harness will come back over and over and over again
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you're used to wearing it. So you have to recognize that it's not there. Make a change, take that invisible harness off.
yeah. It's remembering,
Remember,
which is a kind of act, but you're remembering effortlessness.
that's the sati. That's what the word means, is to remember, to come back into the here now, to remember that you don't have a harness.
Mm.
You're not dragged back into that memory system. You follow it because you're under the delusion that that's who you are, that you've got to do it. But now you're learning that you're not fixed. You have choices. But you only have that choice when you remember that you've got the choice.
Yeah. God. It's so easy. It's
It
so
is,
easy, but
it is easy if you keep doing it. It's not
yeah,
easy when you say it's hard.
yeah, and it gets harder when you stop doing it.
Because you practice and get the habit built up of it's hard. So you can start telling yourself instead, hey, this is easy. I can get out of it. I can feel good anytime. All I have to do is remember to change my attitude,
Yeah,
to
it's easy,
change
but
the
it
thoughts.
in like what's easy is the actual action is in itself like elegant and simple, but in reality, it is hard to.
No, wait a
No,
minute.
no,
No, it's not. When you remember, you can congratulate yourself right then and there. I remembered.
yeah,
Rather than making it hard by saying, look at all that time that I didn't remember. Well, this time you did remember. Aha, I see you now.
yeah. I'm comparing everything that we're talking about to past where
Hmm.
I didn't know this.
And it really is easy if you remember that you've got a choice now. Right now, you got a choice. And when you don't remember, then you're stuck in the past.
Right now, I have a choice. Okay. Yeah. Maybe I need kind of post-it notes up.
Yeah, put some post-its up. Get a tattoo. Tattoo all over your body. So every time you take that tattoo, and the main thing that
Yeah.
you have on it, you can change.
Did you ever see the movie Memento? Probably
No,
not.
no,
It's a
I
Christopher
haven't
Nolan
seen.
film, but he wakes up and he has amnesia, and he wakes up and he's got all these tattoos in reverse writing, so he can read them in the mirror, and it's all these clues to who he is, to who he was,
Who he
and
was.
he keeps, and then when he gets a new bit of information, he writes another tattoo, and then he forgets it all again, and then he wakes up.
I know. Isn't that really weird? I mean, the authors of those kind of novels ought to think things through. That, in fact, if you can't remember your past, isn't that marvelous? You can start all over again. Have a new present. Why do I want to go figure out who I was when who I was unhappy and miserable? Why do I want to go back to that? If I've forgotten about it, let's really forget. Forget all about it.
Yeah. His whole thing is that he's trying to get like vengeance on someone who like killed his wife. So he's
Right,
trying
and
to
but that's because he remembers that much.
yeah, he remembers that something's wrong and someone's trying to get him.
Hmm.
And then he just keeps forgetting why.
Right. That's the thing. Why don't we just forget all about it? Forget about it. Don't dwell in the past. Let's have something right now. Then, in fact, going back to that analogy, the reason why the horse that was wearing the imaginary bridle was because he remembered wearing the bridle. He remembered being led around by the harness and the lead. And so
Yeah.
he was living in the past. But in the present moments, he's got no lead. He's got no harness. He's got no bridle.
Hmm. So when
So
I'm
this
on
guy in the movie, the guy
yeah,
in the movie then is trying to go find his old bridle so he
yeah,
can be locked up again.
yeah, get his revenge.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And lives his life miserably, even though he's forgotten what it was that he was miserable about. He's still miserable. That's the real habit, is the misery. but you can change that habit.
We have free will. We have
You,
free will.
well, I would say it like this. No, we do not have free will, but it is not because we are bound by our destiny. It's because we've created that destiny, and now we live our lives according to that destiny without making any choice. But if we do take the will to make a change, then the will that we have is expensive because we had to pay for it. You had to make that change. You had to take the right effort. The right effort is the payment for your freedom. Let me say that again. It's very important. Your right, noble effort is the price you have to pay for your freedom.
Mm.
And so will is expensive. You have to take the effort.
That seems like a very fair exchange. I like that. That's how it should be.
Yeah, because after you practice, the willpower or the right noble effort becomes easier and easier.
So free will is almost, would you call that maybe more of a spectrum where most people don't have it, and then when
No,
you
I would say that free will was invented by philosophers who wanted to be free from the Catholic Church and all of its teachings.
Mm.
Are you bound by your destiny or are you free from the destiny? Well, you're bound by your destiny, but you can become free. You're not fixed. You don't have a soul that is immutable, that can't be changed. You're a moving target.
Mm.
And if you take the right effort, you can change. You can change into anything that you want to be. And if
Yeah.
here's the question: if you wanted,
Yeah.
if you had a choice about how you wanted to feel, how would you feel right now? I'm feeling the way I want to feel. Can you feel the way you want to feel right now?
Ooh. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Well, start thinking about how do you want to feel, and then start feeling the way you want to feel, rather than feeling the way that you're in the habit of feeling.
Mm.
How do you want to feel?
There are times where
Joyful?
there are times where I do want to feel low.
Well, sometimes you feel like easygoing. Sometimes you feel like resting. Sometimes you feel like you're on
Yeah.
top of the world.
Yeah.
Sometimes you feel like I always was on top of the world. So the way that you feel can change depending upon what you want. But the reality is that most people like yourself are stuck in feeling the way you were trained to feel without recognizing that you've got a choice.
Yeah. So free will as a concept. But
It's an angry concept.
but reality is just that we are always free, whether we are like tied up or free. Freedom is like what is real.
That's the
Choice.
basis. That's the starting point. But
Yeah.
we don't believe that we're free because we
No.
believe that we're tied up. Just like that horse at the beginning he wasn't free. He was tied up by that imaginary lead until they recognized that the lead wasn't there, and then the horse became free. And the thing of it was is that in this particular episode of a real horse doing this, it took him a little while to figure out that he really was free. At the beginning, he says, "Wait a minute, I'm free here and I can move." And then he started back into the lead again. And then he
Mm.
says, "Wait a minute again." And then he became free. All right. So this is the old habit patterns will try to put you back into into your own prison, into your own dungeon. And when that happens, can you remember to look and say, "Wait a minute, I just put myself back in jail. Aha, I see you, jail. And now I can walk free again."
Yeah.
You can do this.
can do this.
You can. That's what I want to hear, is that you can do this. You can change your mind.
I mean, it's just like a natural thing that I'm now more realizing, I guess. It's just, you know, that's what separates human from something else, isn't it? Like disability. This ability, not disability. Yeah.
You're able. You are able to change. You're not stuck. You are free to change.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Okay, and so with my phone, right? So like I get stuck on my phone and
Wait a minute, I could set that phone down and just be happy. Let me take a few minutes to tell myself
yeah,
that I'm not afraid, that I'm comfortable,
yeah,
that everything is okay, not a
yeah,
problem in the world.
yeah.
This moment is okay.
So using my phone is so it's like
Habit.
smoking. It's like having smoked
It's
for
a
honestly
habit.
12
It's a
years.
habit. It's a
Yeah.
habit. You developed a habit. At one time, you did not have the habit of a cell phone. At one time, you didn't have a cell phone.
But I do feel like all my life I've had video games. My dad worked for a video game company. I've always had movies, video games,
When
and
you were
phone.
6 weeks old, you didn't.
True.
You developed that habit. You used him as a role model.
Mm-hmm.
He played games, I'll play games.
Mm.
And now you're recognizing that you've got a choice, but you have to remember that you have that choice.
I was just thinking maybe I should like I need something to do instead of being on my phone, I guess. It's like maybe it's breathing and
Well,
breathing.
here's the thing. Can you remember then to put the phone down? Can you remember to put it down instead of going cold turkey or making a great big decision or wanting to do something? Can you remember from time to time, hey, I can set this phone down. I'm okay without it. I'm okay. Don't try to make a big deal out of it. Just from time to time, remember that you can set that phone down and be happy instead. Take a deep breath. Wow, everything really is okay. Then you can pick the phone back up. And then later you can say, wow, everything really is okay. I really don't need this phone. And go back and forth with it. And pretty soon you begin to develop the habit of, hey, I'm okay. I'm okay without the cell phone. I'm okay without all those negative thoughts about being depressed and being unhappy and dissatisfied. You can start
Mhm.
developing the habit of being happy and satisfied.
Yeah, a lot of it is stressful thoughts or thoughts of being overwhelmed and stuff I have to do.
Yeah,
You know,
but see, that's just a thought that I'm
yeah,
overwhelmed. Why don't you have the thought instead, aha, I see you overwhelmed, and in fact, I'm actually underwhelmed.
yeah. Wow, it's just like a full like excavation
Well,
of the
it's not a
house.
full excavation in a great big way. It's a little bit of an
Yeah,
investigation and excavation right
yeah,
now. Can
yeah,
I
yeah,
change it right now?
yeah.
Just a little change. And
But
then
it's
keep
like
making.
everything though. It's just like everything has to be seen.
All right.
That's
No,
where no.
just right now. No.
Just,
Let me give you this analogy. Let us say that the big truck and maybe a forklift just delivered a big pallet of 100-pound bags of cement, and they delivered it to the wrong place. So all you have to do is to move that pallet, maybe 100 bags of 100 pounds each, 10,000 pounds of cement. You can't lift 10,000 pounds of cement. And that's the way that you're thinking. But you can move one bag at a time. You can pick up that bag and move it, and then rest, and then go back and pick another bag and move it. One bag at a time, one moment at a time, one little now at a time, and pretty soon you start making real progress.
Yeah.
And the real progress is that you become stronger at moving bags of cement.
So when I mess up, I feel shame. I see that shame. I see
I don't have to feel shame. I can
everything
make
in
that
my head.
change. I don't have to feel ashamed. Well, isn't it nice to not feel ashamed?
Yeah, and it doesn't take really it's probably easier to do this than to just continue feeling
Ashamed, right? It really
bad.
is. Of course it
I'm
is.
just checking.
Yeah. You don't
Checking.
have to feel that way. Let's make a change right now. And then you catch yourself later feeling ashamed. All right, time to move that bag. Let's pick it up and coat it over
Yeah.
there and sit down and sit on it and enjoy it with a big smile.
Would you say that it does take a little bit of energy?
Effort. Of
Okay.
course. Yeah, it takes effort.
So it
In the
takes effort.
beginning, it's more effort. As you progress, it gets less. Let me give you a couple of examples. Have you ever had, you know what I mean by at the playground, we have a swing. The little girl sits on the swing and says, "Push me, Daddy." That first time that Dad pushes is hard work, but she moves just a little bit. But then she comes back and he pushes again. And then she comes back and then he pushes her again. And pretty soon we've got a rhythm going. So we keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing, but now the pushing is easy. But if we stop doing it, she'll come back because of gravity back to no push. Back to the grave, back to the ground, back to the old place. And so now it's going to take a little bit more energy to start it up again. But if you keep pushing, it gets easy. When you stop pushing, then it gets hard again to start it up.
Yeah. And I think I believe that it's harder than it is because of the belief that it's hard.
But you
You know,
can do it. You have to believe that you can do it. You have to believe that you can change. It might be a little bit difficult to get it
yeah.
started, but after you get it started, you're on a roll.
Yeah, there's a little bit of like being afraid of putting in that effort, definitely. And feeling like I need to preserve my energy. I don't like I'm too stressed. That's a thought that I get.
And the answer to that is, well, let me take a little effort and move out of that stress and get happy. And then the next month, I can move again. And this time it's going to be easier. Eventually, it gets to the point that it jumps. It's like energy. That in the beginning is effort, but later it's like pop and it just pops.
So maybe
Automatic almost.
if I do this little bit of effort every moment, or when I
No,
remember.
when you remember, then
Yeah.
you
So
will remember more often.
I can't expect myself to do it
All the time.
every single moment.
That's
No.
like trying to move that whole pallet of cement. Just
Okay.
one bag.
So it's kind of like going from 1 out of 10 wholesome thoughts to 2 out of 10, and then 3 out of 10.
Okay, yeah. As you build up the skill.
Yeah.
And it has to do with the repetition.
Reps.
Over and over again. Just like somebody who goes to the gym, they get strong not by lifting the really, really big, heavy thing one time. It's that they lift the little one over and over and over again, building those reps, building those muscles by doing it over and over and over and over again. And it takes effort, a little bit of effort, with each rep.
Mm-hmm. So it only takes about, I think maybe, I don't know why I'm thinking of this. I'm just thinking like maybe in 2 weeks I'll
No,
be.
don't think about it in time frame. Think about it. Can you do it right now?
Yeah.
Don't look into the future. Don't look at that whole pallet of cement. Just one bag.
But I want to
Just
think.
this one.
I want to think like, oh, in 2 weeks I'll be good at this.
Well, let us say that if you keep doing this, you'll get good at it. Don't put a time frame on it. Don't make yourself set up for a failure. Instead,
Yeah.
set it up to like it. I like doing this. That's
Yeah.
what your goal should be, is starting to like doing it. I like this. I'll do it again. I like it. I do it again. Change the way you feel. From not liking it, oh, poor me, and it's such a struggle, and I'm so under stress, into, let me do it one time and I'll feel better. Let me do it again and I'll feel better. And pretty soon, hot dog, I feel better.
Mm-hmm. So we're kind of just all of these excuses or problems or like, circumstances or complaints. That's a whole category that we can just completely see through.
Mm-hmm.
All of
I
that.
can do
Just
this.
yeah, I can do this.
I can
Yeah.
do this.
It's the belief.
Well, it's more of evidence. Belief, I'm not so big on. I don't believe in belief. I believe in evidence.
Ah, yeah. So it's not really to do with belief.
It's got nothing to
It's
do with belief. It's got to
it's
do with show yourself that you can do this and that you benefit.
it's
See the
confidence.
benefit. Yeah, then you build confidence. Eventually, you build a lot of confidence. I can do this.
It's interesting because belief in a lot of movies, especially like kind of family or kids movies, a big message which is kind of stated literally in the movie sometimes is like, you need to believe. It's like you must believe.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's interesting
It's
that like
almost like that Walt Disney was a Christian or something.
yeah,
It's got nothing to do with belief. It's got to do with investigation and see that you can change and that it's valuable. It's wholesome. You get benefit out of it. You get evidence. I can do this. Just like right now, you've gotten a smile. You have that idea. I can do this.
mm,
It's not a matter of belief. It's a matter of evidence. Shraddha does not mean faith. It means confidence, but the confidence is built upon evidence. The evidence is, I can feel better right now. I do feel better right now. I can do this.
yeah. It's just true, I guess. It's just the truth sort of thing.
That's right. You're recognizing that it's true that you can feel better right now.
Yeah. Yeah. You think it's possible that I could just never, this depression, it's not really like a depression, it's just more like a kind of protest or something. Like, do you think it's possible that I could never do this again? Or do you
Well,
think that I
if you
should think
stop
about
practicing,
it? It
and
will
then
happen.
you have the thought, oh, I could have been doing it all along. Let me do it now. Let me do it now. Let me do it again. I like it when I do it. Let me do it again. Let's come out of those unwholesome thoughts and have a wholesome thought. And the wholesome thought is, this feels good and I like it.
Yeah. And kind of no questions asked, really. Like, no, movie or, chain or anything, or time. It's just like seeing what's in front of you and taking it or something like that. It's
Well,
like,
let's stay with you. One of the things that I'm seeing you do right now is wandering off into confusion, wandering off into trying to get it right, wandering off into I'm not sure. And so you need to see those thoughts when you're practicing so you can say, I don't have to have that kind of thought. I can have the thought of I can do it. I feel good. I'm okay.
yeah. So even then, I was like,
Well, you're
trying
doing
to
it
think.
again now. What I'm expecting you to do is to stop that and say, I can do this.
So I don't need a commentary.
You don't need a commentary. You need to start making a change and
So
stop trying to figure it out and just say, I can do this. I can change.
it is helpful though to get it clear though. So the commentary is
No,
just
it's not helpful because I've watched you for the past 10 minutes being not helpful to yourself. It
uh,
does not help to get commentary or to try to figure it out. What happens or what is really beneficial and helpful is to actually do it.
mm.
I mean, how many times do you have to read a novel or a book or an encyclopedia about how to change a tire? None of that'll ever get that tire changed. You got to change the tire. Can you change right now? Can you come out of that confusion and wanting it to be this way or that way and say, hey, I can do this. I can change my mind. I can feel good. I can feel okay right now. Everything is all right. Everything is fine. Take a
Okay.
deep breath and relax. You don't have anything to figure out. The figuring it out is called doubt, worry. It's a
Yeah.
hindrance, and you're
So what
preventing
what would you?
yourself from being happy right now.
So we just feel good.
Yeah, just start feeling good. Can you do that right now? I'm waiting for you. Come on, guys, let's get this thing going. I can do this. Can you say that?
I can do this.
Yes, I can do this. I can do it again. I don't have to figure it out. I can do it again. Let me hear you say, I can do this.
I can do this. I can
Yeah,
do.
I can do this. Let me hear you again.
I
Let's
can
start
do this.
practicing. I can do this. I
I can
feel
do.
good.
Feel good.
I'm
Feel good.
okay.
Feel good.
Just, yeah, we start having to have good, wholesome thoughts, and you're having all kinds of questions and decisions, and all of those are hindering you from actually feeling good.
Mm.
So when you're mulling it over, you're making yourself miserable. And when you say, I'm not going to mull it over, I'm not going to figure it out, I'm just going to do it.
Yeah. It's like just hearing a kind of happy song or something. Is that how it
Yeah.
feels? It's
Well,
like,
can you do that again? Don't have
mm.
to figure out that it's like a
Right.
happy song. You can just do it again. Come on, let's do it. I feel good.
It's yeah.
Come on, smile, darn you, smile. That's the song.
That's a
How
sad song.
about James Brown? There's the James
Yeah.
Brown meditation. Yeah, I feel good.
I've been thinking about that song just then.
Yeah, well, let's have it. So
If
give yourself those lines over and over again. I feel good. This is all right. Everything's all right. Everything's fine. Not a worry in the world. These are the kind of thoughts that you have to have,
yeah,
not trying to figure it out.
yeah.
We'll
But
never
talk
figure it out.
but you can still kind of talk though, right? You can still like express yourself if you're like kind of you're like if you realize something, you can say that though, right?
Right? But make sure that it's wholesome rather
Yeah.
than confusional.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's
And
practice
and
again. Let's
and
do it again.
if you are confused and
No,
you
let's
are
do it again. Stop being confused right now and do it
yeah,
again. Come on, let's practice.
okay. I just like to talk about
I know you do. Let's stop talking about and start talking happy thoughts. Come on, let's do it. Don't mull it over. Don't think about it. Just say, I'm okay right now. I'm
Yeah,
all right.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
I'm okay. I'm all right. Everything's all right. Everything's fine. Come on, let's hear it.
I'm okay. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I can do it when I want.
No place to go and nothing to do, and I'm just sitting happy.
Yeah.
No work, no worries. Everything is okay, and I'm happy.
No waiting. No
No
waiting.
waiting right now. I'm just happy right now. I don't have to wait for it. I don't have to figure it out. I'm okay right now.
Yeah. There's like a lot going on that I can witness. That makes me happy.
Mm-hmm. Well, don't
Like,
try to get that stuff to make you happy. Do it on your own. Put some effort into it. I can feel good.
yeah. So
You don't have to find something to push you. Start pushing it on your own.
yeah.
I'm okay.
I was thinking about colors. Like, there's lots of colors around.
You don't need colors
You need colors.
because you can have colors and be unhappy. Colors are not necessarily happy, but happy thoughts, that'll be happy. Start having happy thoughts. I'm okay. I don't need colors. I don't need anything. I can just be happy. So let's practice again. Come on, let me hear you. Don't try to figure it out. Don't look off into yonder. Be here now. Get a big smile and say, I can do this.
I can do this.
You see how resistant you are?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, now that you see that resistance, be gone, resistance. I'm going to do this. Let's make this breakthrough today, right now. Let's just say I'm not going to try to figure it out anymore. I'm just going to be happy instead. I don't have to figure it out. Come on, let's do
So,
it.
so what do you want? Do you want me to speak? I can
Yes, I
do.
want you to stay healthy, wholesome things rather than sitting there in silence trying to figure it out.
All right. Okay. Um, I'm comfortable.
All right?
Comfortable. I'm healthy. I'm very healthy.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Even if I weren't healthy, I'm still okay. Healthy has got nothing to do with it. It's the attitude is I'm okay.
Okay. I'm okay. I
Yeah,
am
you got it made.
protected. I am protected.
Yeah, you got your own protection. I can handle this. I can do this.
I'm alive.
Yeah, you're alive. Can you say I'm alive? Yeah, I'm alive.
I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm aware.
Okay.
I'm
But you
aware.
don't have to give attributes. You're looking for attributes that are going to make you happy. Let's
Yeah.
just stay with I'm okay. I'm already happy. I don't need anything. You're
Even if I was
already
dead.
whole. You're
Even if I was.
already okay.
So, and even when I die, I'll still be okay.
Yeah. You'll be better off when you're dead.
Oh,
Yeah, you won't have any anapanasati. You won't have heavens or hells. You won't have any arguments. You won't have any frustrations. You don't have to eat anymore. You don't have to breathe. You could just be dead. That's
but not forever
marvelous.
though. And then
Hmm?
even after you die, stuff still happens.
Not to you.
No, but to
Not my business. My business right now is just to be happy. All of that stuff out there is not my business. Figuring it all out, not my business. My business is to be happy right now.
we don't
Yeah.
know about that.
We don't know about that stuff, and it doesn't matter. I don't
Mm.
need any of that to make me happy. I don't need colors to make me happy. I can
Anything
just be
could
happy.
just anything could happen out there.
everything will happen. Can you be happy anyway? Don't worry about it. Come back. Let's say I feel good. I'm okay.
Good.
I'm all right.
Feel
I
good.
got no worries. I got no flurries. I've got everything is hunky dory. I don't know how hunky dory is, but it doesn't matter. She's okay.
Yeah, there's no reason to suffer for nothing.
No, nothing. Just in fact, can you be satisfied without any reason to be satisfied? Just satisfied. This is good enough. Doesn't have to pass any test.
And even when I'm not talking to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get you to do, is to practice while you're with me so that you can go do it when I'm not around.
Yeah. And it's nothing to do with what you that's not making me happy. It's what you're telling me or something like that, right? It's just like
it's what you are doing to make you happy. It's your job. I can't fix your mind for you.
No.
Only you can do that. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to talk you into doing it.
How I'm feeling now doesn't have anything to do with you.
No, I'm going to feel good all by myself. I don't need your help.
Yeah. But you have helped me though.
Well, say so then. Say it like that. Wow, this is really great. Not that I've helped you, but that go with the help itself. This is good. I feel good. Everything is all right now. Not a hindrance, not a problem, not a thought, not a worry, not a figuring it out or anything. You can just feel good. I feel good. Like good. I knew I would now. I feel good.
So good.
So good. So good. I feel good. Dum, dum, dum. Okay, so yeah, that song, Feel It Though, I feel good.
I feel good.
All right, well, you start practicing this all on your own, not trying to figure it out or how to get it done. Just start practicing feeling good. Start telling yourself that you're okay, you're fine, no worries.
Even when I'm working.
Even when you're working. Then, in fact, when you're working, if you feel bad, stop working and start feeling good, and then start working again feeling good.
Yeah. Yeah. Even when something bad has happened.
Nothing bad happens. That's all your attitude.
Yeah. Even when something happens.
Even when something happened, it just happened. So what? It's not your business. Your business is to be happy, to be joyful.
Business. That is my...
That's your thing.
It's my function.
That's your thing.
My thing. It's my
thing. It's your thing. Just be happy. That's my thing.
That is my thing. It's my job. My job?
It's not a job.
It's my life.
That's the whole point. You've been working too hard. You're trying to make it into a job. It's not a job. Put the job down. I'm happy without the job.
It's not a career.
It's not a career. It's right here in this present moment. I feel good right now.
There are many layers.
No layers.
There are no layers.
No layers. Layers are all past and future. There's no layers. Just stop doing all of that stuff. Stop layering it. And just say, I feel good right now.
It's one layer at a time.
No, it's one moment at a time. It's not in layers.
No, it's not. Okay.
Okay. That for the past, let us say, 30,000 years, there has been one moment after another after another. Show me the pile. Show me the layers. No layers. Every moment rots, completely is gone. The past is dead. No layers. Things don't pile up. That's the concept. And the new
Yeah.
concept is, let's not have concepts. The new concept is, I feel good right now. I don't need any concepts.
Even the concept of the present.
Well, instead of having the concept of the present, why don't we just say, I feel good right now?
Yeah, and we don't need to understand the present.
I know you're trying to understand things. Stop trying to understand it and start enjoying it instead. It's like a child who gets a very sophisticated toy and daddy wants him to understand it so that he can play with it properly, and the kid's too busy just having fun with it.
Fuck. Yeah.
You
That's
don't have to understand it. Just have fun with it.
That's like music at the moment. I'm just not having fun with it. I'm just trying to understand it.
I know you're too busy trying to understand it instead of just having fun with it.
Hmm. So yeah, I don't need to worry about what happens to the present or the
No,
past or
whatever it is, we can enjoy it because we're enjoying the moment. And it doesn't depend upon what happens. It doesn't depend upon the outside. It depends
yeah.
upon, can you change your mind from worrying about the outside into just dropping it all and say, I feel good.
And it's more natural. It's more yeah, it's just more obvious.
I feel
I
good.
feel
I
good.
don't need to see whether it's more of this or more of that. I just like it. It's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That you're still trying to conceptualize it rather than just enjoy it. So just enjoy. Everything is all right. Everything is fine. Don't have to worry about what it is or what it's not, and just say it's good.
I do not need to conceptualize it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't need to get it.
Instead, nourish, not conceptualize. Nourish.
Oh,
Nourish. Oh, this is so good.
yeah. Yeah, that's good. Mm.
I feel
Yeah,
good.
that
That's
makes a
all.
lot. I really, that's, yeah, simple.
It is simple if you can remember. And it's complicated when you're thinking about it instead of just be happy.
Oh my God. Shit, I kind of get it.
All right. All right.
Oh,
Well, let's go ahead and finish now. And you report back to me in a couple of days
yeah,
and we'll go over it again.
definitely.
Excellent. All
Tuesday.
right. We'll see you.
Okay, thank you.
I feel good now. I feel good.
So good.
So
Okay,
good. All right.
all right. I'll see you
All
soon.
right.
Bye. Bye.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.